Hello, beautiful collective. This is a reading for August 14th, 2026. So let's see what the spirits have to say. Spirits, archangels, highest self, please come help me discern all these messages and make sure that I am able to translate them for the community. Let's see. Interesting. So I'm kind of having this feeling about change. I'm having this feeling where there's something that has shifted, something that has shifted in the last couple of days. I'm assuming because of the new moon and the eclipse. It's crazy because a lot of people are talking about it. To be honest, I hadn't really, this is the second time this card keeps falling out when I've been shuffling. So I'm going to take that as our first card, which is the Hangman. The Hangman is about a perspective change. It's about being in limbo, but honestly, I kind of see it as a perspective change, especially because when you, I mean, it goes like this, but when you look at it, the fact that his head has this halo, and he's just so calm, it's trying to, or to me at least, it's showing like there's something within your mindset that has shifted. And that's what I'm saying. And the fact that it's, you know, yellow like the sun, we just had the solar eclipse. I kind of feel like it's trying to change at that's the point where our perspective changed. That's the point where something happened. And sorry, I keep getting messages. That's the point where I'm getting like, this is where it started. Like, this is what happened. Like, this is the reset that we're at right now. We're resetting who we are, what we are, where we're going, the direction and the speed in which we're going in that direction. So the Hangman is very definitely something. Let's see, Spirit. Anything else? Ooh, okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, hang on. Two of them flipped over. Let's go back. Where are you? I'm like, I saw the car. There we are. Interesting. I'm going to say this right now. I did a reading. I don't know if it was, I believe it was on here or TikTok. Could be the TikTok one. But these cards literally came out. The Devil and the High Priestess. It's interesting because first three cards, major arcana, which is big change. Big change. Like I said, the Hangman is about perspective change. It's about being in a space where you're not physically doing anything, but your mental mind, you're doing mental gymnastics. You're learning things in a different way within yourself. Like, it has nothing to do with external. That's what I get when I look at the Hangman, at least in this spread, in the way that it's hitting. Because the next thing, the Devil, the fact that the Devil came out, that's interesting. The Devil, to me, it can be temptation, it can be habits, it can be, you know, like bad habits. It can be about physical things changing. It could be about, oh my God, I just freaking get it. Okay, so it is about the changes. The thing is that the Hangman is within, right? Because I just said that, like, the Hangman is about a perspective change, or the self within. Like, we're not physically changing anything, but the mentalness is changing, right? And then having the Devil after. The Devil is about the monetary thing. At least to me, it's about the physical thing. So not only are we having a mental change, but it's also going to be coming out in the physical, because the last one that we got for this row was the High Priestess. The High Priestess is already having everything. The High Priestess is knowing you have everything. The High Priestess is having this power within you to where you're like, I can take whatever's coming at me. I can handle whatever's coming at me. And the cards that came out last were, I'm sorry, I always want to call this one the Eight of Wands, but I know it's the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands, which is about being exhausted and just being ready to just end whatever mental gymnastics why did I say mental gymnastics? That was weird because I had nothing. See what I mean? Like, it's something within us that's changing to where now we're just exhausted and we don't want to fight for something that we don't want. We're not fighting for the things that no longer serve us. And then we have the Queen of Cups, which is someone who's sovereign in their emotional state. Like, we're no longer allowing things that do not have anything to do with us, that we're fighting, because a lot of the wands is about fighting our passions, fighting to do the things that we want to do. And the Queen of Cups is about our sovereignty, our sensitivity, our bringing ourselves back to us is what it is. So I kind of feel like this whole thing is it's changing the way we're thinking. It's changing the way we're approaching life. It's changing the way we see ourselves in this life, because we're tired of the things that no longer serve us. We have the High Priestess energy. We just need to use it. We have the capability to regulate ourselves, to just become the person that we want to be. And that's what's coming out. Let's see, one more for this one, Spirit. Okay. And the last one. Hello. The Ace of Wands. This one is about truth. It's about truth, bringing truth out to what is going on in your life. You want to bring truth. You want to bring a sort of truth out. You want to speak a sort of truth out. That's what's going on. You knowing who you are, you being capable and understanding your own feelings of life, but knowing that, hello, you have the power. Now you're just going to speak the truth on it. You're just going to speak the truth on it. Okay, so let's get a card from the Clarifying Life Situations deck. This one, I like it because it's not too negative, and it has a lot of, it has the same message given or delivered in two different ways. So I like these a lot because they're very positive. And I like that because I don't want so much negative in our life. We already have enough negative things in our life. We don't need any more negativity. So I like these because they're not negative, you know? So, all right, Spirit, shuffle them down. And let's see what Spirit has to say. 3 cards from here. Got it. So there's 2, 1 more, you said. Okay, I don't know why this, just pick that one, I guess. Okay, so the one we got is Web of Connections. Weave your connections thoughtfully, creating a supportive web that uplifts your personal, professional journeys. Okay, so we have Web of Connection. I think this new season in your life is going to bring a lot of people that are going to vibe with what you're trying to do. And I say vibe because the thing is that you're not exactly going to be doing the same thing, but within the same thing. Like as healers, tarot card readers, channelers, stuff like that, we all do within the same scope of things, but we all do it different. And we all connect to it different. We all flow with it different. Being part of source and part of source energy, very different when you're mentally checking into it in a different way. When you're physically checking in and you feel the energy, stuff like that, you feel the stuff coming in is one thing. But when you are checked into it in a different capacity with other people, it broadens your scope, if that makes sense. And then the other one is trust your path. Okay, listen to intuition, seek direction, and embrace discovery. Answers reveal the journey within. Hangman, hello, the journey within. It's telling you that not only are you going to find a soul family, which is, I think what this is, the Web of Connection. I think it's a soul family. I think it's a soul family. You're going to find someone that, or not someone, but a group of someone's, a community of people that have the same, I don't want to say the same journey, but they have the same values, the same thought process. They have the things that you're hoping to create within yourself, that you're finally able to connect within yourself. And I think that trusting that you're on the right path without thinking like, I'm not doing enough, I'm not here to be enough, I'm not exposing myself to the things that I want to do more, stuff like that. Like I kind of feel like this is that you have to trust who you are. You have to trust that within yourself, you can choose the things and the paths on the outside, like in the real world, that will help cultivate the life that you're looking for. And then our last card for this one is Worthy Goal. Get out and be inspired to keep working towards your life purpose. So our life purpose, at least for me, has always been to make the world or I don't even want to say the world, my world, the world within, the world that I live within. I want to make that more hospitable. I want to bring back the love and the camaraderie that used to be here, or at least I felt like it used to be here before. Let me move these cards so then I can do the next one. So the next ones we're going to do our angel message. Let's see if the angels have anything for us, because I kind of feel for the most part what it's telling us is that we're on the right path. We're going in the direction that we're looking to go into. We have thought enough about what we want to do that now it's time to take the action in the direction that we want, and we're going to be supported. The source is just telling us, like, you know what you need to do. You know the path that you need to follow. All you need to do is actually go. All you need to do is give in and surrender to the path that you're already on, and stop thinking that it's wrong. Stop thinking that you're not supposed to be there. Stop thinking that it's not the place for you, because you're meant to be there. You're the high priestess. You're meant to be there. This is part of you. All right, spirits, angels. Ooh, okay. That one jumped out. Good thing she jumped on my table. This one is serenity. Everything in and around me is in perfect harmony. Interesting, right? And then it goes on to say, you are moving into a time of greater inner peace and tranquility. The angels reassure you that peace of mind within you can feel serene even in the midst of great turmoil. So this again brings us back to the hangman. We are such mental creatures, and the thing that we don't, and I say we, but I mean, I'm like generalizing for like everybody. Some people probably do know this, but for the most part, especially like when I first started, I didn't understand that within me was where the power was. That within me is how I connect. Within me is all the information that I already know. Within me is all the things that I can feel going on. You know what I mean? Do I have another? Yes, one more. Spirit says from, let's see what the angels gotta say. Interesting, it came out upside down. Joy. When I feel happy, I manifest more reasons to be happy. So when I manifest more reasons to be happy. So this angel reminds you that when we choose happy thoughts and set intentions to live joyfully, we are setting ourselves up for success and contentment in all areas of life. That's what it says. Which is, again, interesting, because not only are we talking about being serene within ourselves, but it's also joy, which is outer happiness. Do you know what I mean? So we are going back again. We are going back again to the hangman for within and the devil for without. So we need to remember that balance has to come from within to show without, like, outside of ourselves, that we are exactly who we think we are. That the truth that we are trying to tell ourselves is that we are more powerful than we initially figured out. You know what I mean? Like, we're finding out now more how powerful we are. These are affirmation cards that I made. So I'm going to get a few of these just because, okay, well, give us a stack, so we'll just do those. I have someone understand, to have someone understand your mind is a different kind of intimacy. All right, so this might be, that one I kind of feel like, even though intimacy, we kind of always take it as like a, like intimate in the bedroom type. Intimacy is also the connection. Have you ever had those connections where it's strictly emotional, but the intimacy between that is a lot more charged than if it was actually, you know, intimate in the bedroom type way? We find that sometimes our mind, like, I don't know about you, but for me, like, speaking about things about the world, speaking things about, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I don't want to, it was 1444 when I said that. I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I don't think that they're conspiracies. I think they're just different realities that a lot of us live in and that see the patterns that are within the world. Do you know? Do you understand what I'm saying? So I kind of feel like to have people within your life that can reach these areas in your mind and scratch these itches of wanting to know more, of wanting to know and understand the life that we're living, the world that we're living in, is very interesting because it's hard to find people that really fit. I mean, it's easy to find people that fit within certain circles of our lives, but it's hard to find someone that fits a lot more because that becomes more intimate. I think that's the point of this, is that to have someone understand your mind in a different kind of intimacy, right? We have to be okay with ourselves. We have to be open with ourselves. We have to be open with the fact that this is who we are, what we are, and what's going to happen in life. Do you know what I mean? So, like I said, again, this is kind of the general message. The general message is how we're thinking is going to affect our life. How we're thinking in our mind, how we're living within our body is going to be reflected in our outside life, in our outside daily, everyday, run of the mill things we come across throughout life. Why? Because if we're living in love and we're feeling in joy and we're living in the positivity, more positivity is going to come. More positivity is going to look at you. You're going to have deeper connections with people you probably never even realized that you had connections with to begin with, but you're going to have these deep, intimate connections. And like I said, it doesn't have to be intimate in the setting of like the bedroom. It doesn't have to be that kind of intimacy, because intimacy really is just getting to know someone in a way that you feel connected beyond the physical plane. If that makes sense. I have two more. The next one is forgive yourselves for the things you did when hurting. And this is the other thing too, is that I think if like me, because I was going through this healing journey, like me, I had to really look at myself, and I think that's kind of where the mentalness and the hangman come in, because I really had to just stop. Like, I haven't been posting 1717 as I said that. I haven't been posting because I really needed to do this deep dive within myself to see who I was, because I wasn't living the life that I wanted to live, because I kind of felt like I had to cater to other people. I had to put other people first. And when I realized I was doing it wrong, when I realized that I kept putting myself last, even though I kept telling myself I wasn't, even though I kept telling myself that I was doing this for me, that I'm changing for me, that I'm doing this for me, there were times where I would feel guilty. I would feel like I can't do for me. And the thing is that this, like, now I had to learn to forgive myself for doing that, because I didn't know that when I was pushing and over pushing and giving of my empty cup to other people, I was just hurting myself. And then I would hurt other people because I'd get mad that I was hurting myself. And then other people kept expecting more things from me. But it's not their fault, it's mine. So I had to really just be okay with that. I had to really just be okay with that. I had to forgive myself, because I didn't know better at the time. And there's also that other one. I don't know if I have that one written down, but the one that says forgive yourself for not knowing what only time could teach you, because that's the truth. Like, especially like for me, I grew up in a split home, because my parents were divorced, to where there were two different lives. I lived two different lives throughout my childhood, because living with my mom every other week was one life, and living with my dad every other week was one life. The way that things were structured were completely different. The way that I was myself was completely different. And I knew that affected me a lot of the ways growing up. But now I look at myself and I'm like, I did the best I could, because that's what I learned. I didn't know I could change things. I didn't know I could say no. I didn't know until now that I'm older. I didn't know that I could create boundaries even within family, even within friends. I always thought that, oh, you know, you have to cater, and you don't have to cater to anybody. And that's the thing, is that you have to forgive yourself for doing the things you did when you were hurting, because you're hurting yourself, not prioritizing yourself, not prioritizing your feelings, not prioritizing your health, not prioritizing you in any sense of the way, and giving of yourself. Because at that point, you have nothing to give. You're just overexerting, hurting yourself, because there's nothing there for you to give, but you feel guilty and you feel like you have to give. You know what I mean? Like, that's the last one says, choose to align yourself with peace. And that's the goal, right? That's the goal. Is peace is the truth that we all need to find. Finding peace within ourselves, finding peace within the world, finding peace within who we are, what we stand for, and not feeling guilty for being that. You know, like I was feeling a little weird because I don't tell people about my gifts. A lot of my family didn't know that I had these gifts. And I kind of feel like a lot of family did know I have it, but they would, I wouldn't say gaslight me, but they just told me like, oh, that's not real. Like, that can't be true. But yet, you know, like, I was going to tarot card readers when I was early teens. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that there are changes in life that we all have to go through. And I know that there are different things in life that we all have, how would I say it? Like, we're all privy to, you know what I mean? Like, mine is gifts because I connect to source. Other people, same thing. So it's kind of weird to me that anybody would deny anybody else, but that's just how it was for me. Now I choose peace. Now anybody that tells me, oh, that's not real, or excuse me, oh, that you can't do that, or anything like that, I just don't listen. I mean, if you want to believe or don't believe, that's up to you. But I'm choosing to align myself with the life I know that I'm meant to have. I know I have these gifts, so I will be using them. I know that if I follow my path, if I follow my purpose, it's going to be a lot bigger than what it is. It's going to be a lot bigger because I'm choosing to believe that no matter what, there's nobody in life that could tell me otherwise. That aligning with me, doing the things that make me happy, is what the whole point of life is. Sorry, I'm going to get a little bit of... Right when I looked up to get my drink, it was 22:33. I don't know why I've been seeing these numbers. Pairs of twos. I see double ones, double twos, double threes, double fours, fives, and sevens. Sixes and nines too for some reason. And some I keep finding, like, instead of 3 sixes or 3 nines, it's either like 2 sixes and a 9 or 2 nines and a 6. Very odd. That's just how life is, though. You know, some of these messages, I kind of feel like they're telling me, pay attention. I'll see the numbers sometimes out and about, and I'll be reading like licenses, like, and it's the thing too, is that when we're getting messages from source and stuff like that, the cards give us one, right? But when we see like signs, like messages on billboards and stuff like that, and they resonate, all of that was for you. And I think once we align with ourselves, you start seeing them. Because I know the more I've actually taken the time to connect with myself, taken the time to know who I am, not just within the traumas that I lived through, but also the strengths that it took me to get through those traumas. It lit a part of me up that I forgot was there. It lit a part of me up that I didn't understand had been dimmed. You know, we all say, oh, you got to bring your light back. Like, don't let anybody dim your light. But the thing is, we don't understand sometimes. And I say we, like I said, like I always say we. If it wasn't you, it wasn't you. But I always say we because I always kind of feel like I resonate with people that have gone through this. So I say we because I kind of feel like as a collective, we are shifting in the same way. Our paths might not be the same. Our paths out of this might not be the same. But in this moment, if you're seeing this message right now, we are on the same path. We are on the same frequency. We are in the same area of life, fighting the same problem in our own way. We are seeing the same distractions. We are seeing the same propagandas. We are seeing the same issues within the collective. We're seeing the same issues when it comes to our emotional health. We are fighting the same battles when it comes to our mental health. We are observing the same, I want to say the same world, but I don't want to have that come across as like, oh, what's going on in the world. No, the way we fit into the world is what I'm talking about. What we feel we have to move into the world to be 25, as I said that. We have to, in one way or another, understand that not everything, even though everybody goes through different circumstances, not everything is going to be hard. Not everything is going to be a road that you have to travel alone. Like I said, we're gonna have this web of connection. We're having this web of connection right now because, like I said, if you're reading this, or if you're seeing this reading, we're already connected. You're already part of my web. We're already in the same, you know what I mean? We're in the same boat. We're in the same choppy waters. We're still trying to get to shore together. We're on this traveling path that no one else can ever explain or understand, because unless you're in this specific area, unless you're in this specific traveling part, you won't understand. And it's hard because I see some readers sometimes too. Like I watch readers for myself too. Not a big deal, but sometimes I see the readings and I see how like people could take it different, because there's times where I'll hear the same message, like I'll forget I already watched it, or because some readers will cross post. I know I do that sometimes, where we'll cross post and we'll put the same reading on multiple platforms, but then I'll run into the reading on the different platforms and it'll hit different. Because the thing is that sometimes we need to hear one thing more than the other thing at the time. Sometimes there's messages where at one point they're talking about, here's the other thing too that I take, and I'm only saying this just to kind of, I guess, reiterate what I'm trying to say. But when there's messages that sometimes they can be taken either through love messages or a career message or a personal message, they hit different, because sometimes it could be the same message, right? But the way you take it is different. The perspective on the message is different. And I think it's kind of one of those things where when you translate the message to fit, and that's the thing too, don't make it fit if it doesn't fit. But when it does fit, when you translate the message to fit into what you're trying to solve, a lot of the time you'll realize that your perspective did change. And again, we come back to the hangman, right? Not just on the message, but in our life. Because like I said, sometimes I'll see a message, or I'll watch a reading on YouTube, and then I'll come back and go on like TikTok and it's the same message. But for some reason, when I watched it on YouTube a couple days ago, it resonated more with my personal life. And then when I saw it on TikTok, it resonated more with my career life. The thing is that not everything has to fit. But when it does, it's nice. And I hope this message, whoever you're with, like I said, if you're here with me, yeah, baby. But if it's fitting for you, I hope that it's giving you a piece of the puzzle that you're missing, because that's kind of how I take readings. And I hope you guys do too. But that's kind of how I take readings. Readings are pieces of the puzzle that I need in order to get to the next part. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like the puzzle's in steps. And I have to, if you've ever done Legos, which I love Legos, that's kind of how it is. The Legos, they give them to you, especially if you're doing larger Legos. Everything's in a bag in its own separate section. And it gives you the pieces that you need at the time that you need them, without giving you more, without overwhelming you with more, without having you search for pieces in other bags that are not that are not ready for you to open. So I hope this message resonated for all of you, because to be honest, it's something I think I also needed to see, that I am moving in the direction that I want. I am moving and I am loving and feeling the joy that I'm meant to feel, because I finally chose me. I finally chose me above everybody else. And not that to say that I'm like being selfish. I have a husband and kids and a house, like pets. Like, it's not me choosing me over everything. It's me choosing me first above everything. It's not me only choosing me. It's me putting me first, because if I want to give, I can't give from an empty cup. I have to fill me first. So please, just, I hope this resonated. I really do, because I feel sometimes we don't understand, or it's hard for us to understand where we're coming from and how we're feeling. But resonating with messages that other people say sometimes helps. So I hope this resonates, and please make sure, like, I do not reach out. I do not reach out. If you want a personal reading, I do them on Etsy, or you could DM me. I do DMs, but I try not to do them as often. I do DMs. So, but if you want, you can buy on my Etsy shop. So please, if this resonated with you, like, you don't have to subscribe and all that. I'm not gonna be like, oh, it is an energy exchange, but please only do how you feel. Like, don't feel obligated to follow. Don't, if you like my message, if you like how I talk, if you like my energy, we could totally be friends. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and just keep it happy. All right, bye.